Hello everyone, I'm Renown Zero. We are back again talking once again about my 3D assets and other types of nonsense. We also got an epic masterpiece coming again from Tiso Spencer because apparently he always has to have these quote unquote masterpiece written things about me and written things about other people after I just put out the whole 43-minute video of a rant. And I got more Rippaverse Detractor nonsense to talk about here. But as usual, we're going to start with the Rippaverse Yara #1 campaign sitting at $1.290 million at 9,343 purchasers and over 16,000 books sold. Now, I assure you that when this breaks 1.3 million and makes more than Alpha Core, there's going to be yet another goalpost shift coming shortly after. And I'm going to be here to talk about all of it. Also, Blade Devil 2 is still in demand. You can go ahead and get that from Raging Golden Eagle and ToxicManBaby, currently suspended off Twitter for whatever reason. But I'm still going to be promoting this book because I love the first Blade Devil and I can't wait to get the second one. If you want to get in on this story, it's $10 to get in on it from this campaign here called Sick Fox Studios Unlimited. Now, we're going to start here where I simply say this. To all the people that want to sit up here and claim that my 3D assets and my tracing and all this nonsense about how Cliff Richards does his artwork, which you clowns seem to never have cared back when he was working for Marvel and DC in the mainstream. And, of course, this is what I had to say. So apparently asking for proof of concept of artwork directly from the source means I'm in a cult now. The F, when all these Rippaverse detractors were originally sitting up here saying Cliff Richards traces while not knowing the definition of what tracing is, because of course they changed up definitions on the fly, as always, then claiming 3D models from SketchUp were used while not getting the information from or processed directly from the artist. Their source of information is a fat, washed-up comic pro from New Jersey named Ethan Van Sciver, a man-baby who cries daily with 4+ hour live streams about Eric July while his customer base on multiple campaigns are asking him to stop the live streams and work on his projects or give refunds. Yeah, why anyone would listen to people who are getting information from a biased source is mind-blowing to me, which, if anybody so far has watched the 43-minute rant that I put out, I said that this person is listening to biased sources and getting his information from said biased sources rather than simply asking the direct source of certain things like the artwork that was done for the Rippaverse short box. This dude literally said the 3D assets were used. Meanwhile, it was a completely different artist named Kanan White that did the entire artwork for said short box. Yet your dumb self couldn't simply ask Eric like I did, and I showed in the video where I asked Eric specifically who did the artwork for the Rippaverse short box, and it was indeed Kanan White. So this person says, when you deny proof that is evident in the art, which you can see with your own eyes in favor of an edict from high, then yes, you're in a cult. A crappy moronic cult. Yes, you're in a cult apparently if you deny a bunch of biased sources, not a direct source from the person that's actually creating the art. Yes, I'm going to definitely listen to the biased source that came out with the information of my 3D assets. The guy that's been crying about Eric July for weeks upon weeks upon weeks. I'm going to definitely listen to that guy. No, I'm not. I said, I'm denying clowns that are lying about what they're saying. Show me the video of Cliff Richards' artistic process. If you can't, then STFU. No, a video is unreasonable and you know it. You've been presented with evidence. Stop lying to yourself. No, you've presented me with a bunch of 3D models that look nothing like the artwork that was presented in ISOM 1 and 2. By the way, ISOM 1 is now $20. Is it now worth it now? Is it worth it now at $20? I guess you can decide, clowns. I guess if you want to buy the book after you've already pirated it. Dick Masterson says, accuses a random housewife of effing dogs because she clipped his channel. Christ King, bunch of clowns. And I said, you accuse a successful black man of charity fraud, which, by the way, you decided to F up the guy's deal and call the charity guy to find out about more fraud that never occurred. Clowns like you shouldn't be talking when you're sitting up here lying about how the charity worked. The charity was called Comic Books for Kids, as in people purchased the comic books and the comic books were donated as such. The money was given after the fact because Eric decided to give them the donations because he cared about the charity, unlike your clown self, who decided to quote-unquote F up this guy's deal because you hated a black man that called you the N-word 3 times because you're a pussy. You have no legs to stand on. You also do a podcast with an alleged P to the E to the D to the O named Vito the Pito, who still hasn't gotten his book out. Hashtag when is super killer. Crazy as I always say that you can't get any interaction unless you're talking about Eric with your crying ass self. That's why you got roasted by Andy Worski and PPP. Because you were sitting up there talking about, and I don't care, and this and that, yet you were getting clowned on by Andy Worski and PPP. I said the trucks aren't even the same angle. If you traced it, they would be the exact same, because that's what tracing is. Tracing is when you literally draw over a page, and you draw the exact same thing that's shown to you. Which is, by the way, a beginner's technique when it comes to drawing. So, that's the first thing they teach you when it comes to drawing. The first thing they teach you is tracing. That's what tracing is, you clown. Also, I don't need proven liars to have respect for me. Because he's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. This is a bunch of nonsense. I don't care. Good grief, there are 3D assets. 3D means they're three-dimensional. No shit. Who doesn't know that? People who don't have access to the internet, bro? I know what 3D means, homie. I play video games in 3D. I play games that are built in 3D engines, you clown. You trying to educate me like I don't know what I'm talking about. Which, by the way, you were the proofreader for Cyberfrog Wreck Planet, yet there were errors, there were grammatical errors in Wreck Planet. And if I'm not mistaken, it also had a speech bubble that had no text in it. So now if I get godlike, and there's any kind of mistakes, I'm going to roast you. I'm going to come on Twitter, and I'm going to roast your ass. If I see any grammatical or spelling errors in godlike, I'm going to roast you. And by the way, you can't be a proofreader for a book that doesn't exist. Hashtag where is snowman. Hashtag when is snowman. I'm going to roast you if I see any grammatical errors in godlike. Subs aren't tuning in lately. Christ is King, guys. Performative Christian. Oh, yeah. Definitely the subs aren't tuning in for your content. You have 15, almost 1,600 subs, 200 views, 400 views, 169 views. Yeah, they're not tuning in for you, but they're damn sure tuning in for the Quarterings videos. And he puts 5 videos out in one day, which you only get 3 notifications on YouTube. So the other two, you have to kind of find it in your subscription feed. Crazy, I know, but most people don't base their lives on fickle, fleeting numbers. You literally said subs aren't tuning in. You're counting a number. You're literally worried about a number. Stupid. You think Rippaverse would love Captain Marvel because they made $1 billion, since that's the end-all be-all to success. I said that's not how it's ever worked. Considering how you seem to care about how much money it makes because you are making scraps on your posters drawn by convicted P to the E to the D to the O that you won't talk about. The haters were always the ones counting another man's money because they're all beta and bitch made with their bitter pitch syndrome. Because that's what it always was about. That's what it always was about. Firstly, you speak out of ignorance, not a shot you being a Rippaverse. Again, what the heck is a Rippaverse, for one? Is that like a cult name that you've put out there or someone put out there? Because it literally means nothing. It literally means nothing. I've stated my position about Bacon and his contribution to my channel, Katie's and Apex Comics. That opinion against cancel culture for me means not canceling or erasing Vic's post from Meth Gator history, even though I got it from him in 2020 and no one, and I assume in good faith that other creators knew about his bad activity. They did this to Kevin Spacey for a film, and I think that emotionally appealing erasure sets a precedent for cancellation like EVS and Joe Bennett have faced. Meanwhile, you were probably all for Joe Bennett being taken off the Rippaverse because it's Joe Bennett. Though I don't begrudge creators like Dark Gift for going this route. Secondly, Rippaverse threw his number around like SJWs. through THREW through his numbers to try and validate its artistic merit because it made money. No, you clowns did that with Cyberfrog all the time. This means nothing to the argument that he made dog crap and we're laughing at every creation. Okay, you're allowed to laugh at every creation. The fact that you say it's dog crap is still an opinion. Cope and seethe, homie. I'm sorry you don't get that type of support because you're an effing clown. Isn't it funny how the same tactic was used against Eric when claims were being thrown out because of 3D assets? People wanted him to get rid of Cliff for that. People wanted him to not work with Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett because of supposed Q stuff. Saska Sisters because horror films. Now I flip the script and you throw a bitch fit. The numbers got thrown around because you clowns always care about how the Rippaverse, something you don't like, is doing. Are you not the same person who said that God himself told you to help destroy the Rippaverse? You know why Rippaverse fans care about the numbers? The same reason Indiegogos and Kickstarter people care. Extra rewards, extra incentives. Calling people Ripretard and a cult does nothing to help you sell your product. By the way, quotes around the word cult. It does nothing for you. You could just shut up, put your head down, and keep working, but you, like every other clown that's trying to sell something to potential customers, is out here talking crap about people liking something that they don't like. Yet these would be the same type of people who hate that people go around continuously saying The Last Jedi is dog water. But let them tell it. You dare doubt God's plan? This is a holy war. And I'm like, you're not a serious person. Funny how you deflected from everything else I said while also disrespecting God. So now you're also disrespecting Christians who will probably never buy your stuff. Got this clown. By definition, he committed charity fraud. By definition, he did not commit fraud. You're literally retarded because the books were donated as promised. No money was ever promised to the charity. That was the response there from Black Angus. He made profit off the charity and didn't donate all of said profit. That's fraud. That's fraud. He never promised to send money. Stupid. The agreement was, we buy the books, he sends the books to the charity. You can't say, buy my books, I'll give the money to this charity, something he never said, because you're retarded. Again, these guys don't do any research. They just regurgitate whatever nonsense they hear go in one ear. And then not give all the money. That's fraud. It's not fraud because he's never promised money to a charity, stupid. He has never said he was giving money to a charity, you effing moron. Fraud would be people buying the books to be donated and the books not getting donated. STFU when you don't know what the F you're talking about, you effing moron. This person, people say Yara was late. Yara was supposed to be released in 2023. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. There's never been a news article on Rippaverse.com that stated at all that Yara was coming in 2023. So I posted this to the moron where it says coming next year in addition to Yara. Meaning Yara was set to come out in 2024. Which I say in a later post that it was delayed, but you can't say it's late because no money was taken. And it was delayed into 2024 before it was supposed to come out. Amazing. No, it wasn't. The pre-order campaign launched in winter. It was never set to come out in 2023. Which, by the way, I said, if we're being technical, Q4 2023 ends in March. If we want to be technical about it. So if you want to really be technical, it still came out in 2023. Clown. He knows. He's doing it on purpose. They cannot be wrong, so they'll never yield any ground. By the way, you're a narcissistic piece of dog crap. Because literally in your profile, it says, I'm great because I'm right, and I'm right because I'm great. You're a fucking narcissist. You're a literal narcissist. Bunch of clowns over here. All these guys right here, all clowns. All crackheads.
They're doing crack!
You mentioned tracing, and they will stick to that one point forever, never budging. Yeah, because that's a point you clowns decided to come up with long ago, yet you dummies swap the definition around on the fly, and you don't even know what tracing actually is. Oh, retards are like this. This is the same dummy that tried to change the word promise. No, I didn't. I changed the word were, and I didn't change really anything. I just told you that were is past tense, stupid. Again, you are a clown who swears up and down that it was promised in 2023 when it's never been that way. Meant in relation to Yaira being late for its 2023 release, it wasn't late. It launched when it was promised to be launched. You yourself admitted, because you're a dummy, you think you're smart, but you're not. You're a literal dummy with a below room temperature IQ. You have the IQ of a gnat, which is nothing. Eric only promised, didn't say it was coming out. This is not what was stated. You're a fucking disingenuous piece of dog shit. You're disingenuous. You are a disingenuous human being. You're disingenuous. And I said, I'm 1,000 times more intelligent than you. You always make these claims of being intelligent. It's funny how you misrepresent what I said. Were promised as in past tense. It's like the English language is lost on below room temperature IQ brainlets like yourself. Then when I show evidence that says, coming next year in addition to Yaira 1, you end up self-owning yourself when you make the claim that the campaign didn't launch in winter, while simultaneously stating March 11th is winter. STFU when grown folks are talking. Because you're such a miserable clown with your freaking liver spots on your bald-ass head, with your little fake AI bullcrap. You want to sit up here and talk about my thinning hair, my ass, my head at least has hair, you bald fuck. That's why your bum ass now has what? A helmet on your head? Because you're fucking special? Special ed? This is what I mean when I say Renon's retarded. He tried changing again. Said the same exact crap. Again. You can't flip-flop and say it was late now, because you already admitted it. I screenshotted it, so you're a clown for thinking you're going to change the rule book and say stuff is late. Because again, technically, 2023 Q4 doesn't end till March, fool. So technically, if you want to be that serious about it, came out in 2023. It launched in winter as promised. So you're a freaking disingenuous piece of garbage, as you've always been. It's so easy to sniff out bullshit artists like you. And I said, do you know why people think you're retarded? And I mean legitimately retarded. Because no release window outside of winter was presented for Yaira. Eric took $0 for the campaign. You're the same idiot who believed Yaira would barely make $1 million, and it made it in less than 24 hours of the campaign, launching when it was promised to be launched. For someone who claims to be so intelligent in business, what business sense would it make to have Alpha Core be promised to be launched in fall, which it did, and then launch Yaira while Alpha Core is going on and have two campaigns running at the same time to split the revenue? Being delayed isn't the same as being late. You would have an argument if Yaira launched in spring without the audience being made aware of that, but because you're a disingenuous individual, because your dumbass still doesn't understand what I said, then you could say it was late. You yourself admitted you were wrong when you realized March 11th is still winter. You always self-own yourself because you're a clown. And you thought you were going to have this amazing playbook where you were going to own me because I said delayed. I knew exactly what your playbook was because you still haven't responded. But you know probably where you responded? On your own account by screenshotting what I said because you're a pussy. You're a whole pussy. And you won't just quote tweet me because you know I'll destroy you in the comments. I'll destroy you with another quote tweet like I always do. Because you're a clown. He actually just effed up big time some minutes ago with a quote tweet. I'm actually finishing up my response, but it's bad for him. Because I said delayed, you made the claim it was late. By the way, finish your response, homie. I'll just monetize it anyway because my audience enjoys laughing at how truly dumb you are. Which you never finished it, so. And I said, oh no, guys and gals, Super Tizzle's making a response that's going to make me look bad, even though I continue to gain subscribers and followers. Everyone like MSK, shout out, and LG, shout out, who see this guy for what type of person he is, can tell you there's nothing this clown can say after he got BTFO'd. He'll probably say I effed up by saying Yaira was delayed and claim delayed and late are one and the same, which is why he never came up with his response. That's why he never came up with the response. Clown. It's like, did you even look up delayed? It's like, yeah, I don't need to because delayed and late are not synonymous, you low IQ F. I guess you need help so I can show you the difference between delayed and late. Which it says right here, if you buy anything, where is it? It's important to note that delayed does not automatically mean late, as you can be delayed but still be on time. So, by that logic, if Yara was delayed in 2024 but launched in the winter, it's not late. So, fuck you. And if you want to sit up here and turn around and say, well, all these other things are not late then because they just got delayed. No. Those other campaigns decided to have a release window. They missed the release window and then said it was going to be delayed after it hit the release window. So those campaigns are late. Dummy. I know you would try that too. Now this individual wants to say, here's all the great books that came out. Okay. So Three Jokers only sold 300K to comic book shops, by the way. That's less than King Spawn, by the way, which King Spawn #1 sold 480K to comic shops. Not to customers, to comic shops. By the way, you mentioned Immortal Hulk, right? Guess who drew Immortal Hulk? Guess who penciled Immortal Hulk? Oh yeah, Joe Bennett, the guy that's drawing Alpha Core. And now drawing the Horseman. Which, there were people that claimed that Joe Bennett's art was crap. So, you're such a clown, by the way. You say Deborah Carita's art, which was redrawn by Kane and White, in response to, the Sasuke sisters hyping up Yairo once again. Which, by the way, you're such a clown that has no friends with your steroids that you got going on there, with your overblown steroid arms that you got there. You even had to repost yourself because nobody cares what you actually have to say. But if you want to look up Deborah Carita's art, which is right here, you would see their similarities to this compared to this. They're pretty similar in penciling here, if I do say so myself, just by clearly looking at this and this, since you want to say it was redrawn by Kane and White with zero proof. Meanwhile, you got people out here that can't even tell the difference between Cliff Richard's art and Kane and White's art in relation to the Rippaverse short box, but apparently you can tell that this is Kane and White. No, it's Deborah Carita because it says it right there at the bottom. Deborah Carita, and yeah, this looks similar to that. At the end of the day, it'll just never stop. These guys will always have something to complain about because they're told to complain about something. They try to make people act like, oh, we're supposed to be mad at Eric July. Supposed to be mad at Big Bad Eric July is pulling strings and sending people to comment sections to do his bidding because, Eric July is such a bad guy for starting a comic book company and getting people enthusiastic about comics. Anyway, thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit the like button. Comment below how you feel about all this. Subscribe for more content. Hit the bell for notifications. Set the bell to all. That way you'll get a notification anytime I post a new video live stream, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.